Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we are doing an individual reading for a soloist. Taemin. Taemin. So I said it like that because I've been in K-pop for over 10 years now. I think last year, in 2020, it was 10. So, okay, since 2010 basically. So I kind of have seen how Taemin has grown into the person he is now. And if you have some knowledge of how K-pop was back in the day, some people joked and mentioned how Taemin had become Taemin because he had grown from the 15-year-old that we had all seen into the 20-something-year-old he is now. I kind of forgot how old he is. But yeah, he has grown not only as an individual, but he has grown a lot as an artist, and because of that, he is, in this household, we call him Taemin, even though he's Taemin. So yeah, this time I wanted to do an individual reading for him, since not too long ago he took out his I just know he took out Vice out. I don't know if it's like a mini album or an album, but he took out more music. You know, he had a comeback, and all I have to say is that that song is so good. I loved it, I liked it, and I really enjoyed it, and it brought me lots of joy, and it reminded me of the best advice that we can all have, which is our own. You know, we're very good at giving other people's advice, and we should practice what we preach. You know, we should definitely follow the advice we give to other people sometimes, because what we say sometimes is the advice that we should be giving ourselves, or we should be listening to. But yeah, this time we have an individual reading for all the people out there that may not really know how individual readings work. We are going to, I say we, by that I mean like my spirit guides and I, are going to be exploring 4 different areas of Taemin's life, which is his current energy, to see how he's doing right now, his career, his love life, and any healing messages that go through, which tend to be just kind of like a conclusion summary of everything else we saw earlier in the video. And in this case, I am very excited, because not only are we reading for Taemin, but we're also using a new oracle deck that I got not so long ago, sometime this week, and I wanted to use it for the first time with him, even though I've used it for myself already a couple of times, but let's put that aside. Let's forget about that one. And yeah, we have this time a bunch of oracle decks. We have 4, 5, and then 2 tarot decks, which is the standard in these readings. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy this. Thank you so much for everyone that has been supporting my channel, and continue loving and listening to Taemin. And yeah, let's just jump right into his current energy. I hope you're all having a great day. Let's get on with the video. By the way, if you hear a lot of noise outside, that's because the street is still getting fixed. So let's see. What is Taemin going through currently? How is his energy right now? The first card that we have is the Ace of Swords. So it seems like starting a new form of communication, bringing in new ideas, feeling like the king on top. So it feels like right now there's a message that he may have been putting out there, and he feels pretty content. Like he may feel like whatever message he put out there is being heard, or it had been expressed very effectively, and he seems to be very proud about that, or he seems to be very content that whatever message he may have put out there, or whatever idea or thought he had in mind, he was able to make it work in a way that he seems was effective, and it carried the message that he wanted it to carry. I'm saying that because the Ace of Swords is all about communication, and it's the beginning of. So it could be a new chapter, it could be a new beginning, it could be a new project as well. So I am just making the assumption that his comeback was something that he is very content with, in the sense that it carried out whatever vision he had in mind. Was it like 100% perfect? Not necessarily, but it carried out whatever main idea he had. The other thing that I'm getting is that if you look at this bird, there's this sense of pride, feeling like a king, and there's yellow in this card, and usually yellow represents the solar plexus, which is a symbol of confidence, optimism, and creativity. So he feels like he has succeeded. He feels important. He feels like it was a success somehow. Now we have the Two of Pentacles reversed. So the Two of Pentacles usually symbolizes having to have balance between two ideas. Well, it's Pentacles, so it could be work, his mind, it could be his body, his soul. Like, it's trying to juggle two things at the same time. So finding some sense of balance within him. So I do feel that since it's reversed, it kind of shows that he doesn't have that necessarily yet. Or there is two energies or two ideas or two material things. It could be just two things that he needs to work with, balance, and get together somehow. But it feels like currently he hasn't figured out the way to manage that energy and have it balanced the way that he will have wished for it to be. Now the other two cards, the other four that we have is the Four of Wands reversed. We have the Seven of Cups upright, the High Priestess, and the Nine of Pentacles. So it feels okay. So let's talk with the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card that symbolizes a sense of balance, feeling at home, and feeling very stable. But the fact that it's reversed kind of tells me that he doesn't have that. He doesn't feel stable. He doesn't feel balanced. Like, he feels like something is missing within his life. And I don't think he has figured out what that is yet. But there is this sense of maybe he feels like something is missing. It does seem like there's a lack of stability somehow within him. But I don't think it's necessarily like a very big deal. Just yet. I feel that he just knows something is missing. He just knows that there's something that he has been wanting or waiting for, or there is a side of him, like an emotion that he can't quite like put his finger on and realize what the issue is. It feels like it's still in the works. It's still within his mind. Like, he hasn't really figured out what is that he can't ground or what it is that he can't stabilize yet. Like, I don't think it's a material necessity. It's just something that I'm talking about the Two of Pentacles as well. Like, he may feel like he doesn't have like the right time management, or he doesn't have, or his head is not like 100% in something because he has to think of something else. And this Four of Wands reverse kind of shows this energy of there's something that he's missing within his environment or within his body, mind, and soul to feel at home or to feel satisfied. Like, there is something that he still is missing and he hasn't figured out what that is just yet. Now we have the Seven of Cups right next to it, so it could mean that he has a lot of options and he hasn't grounded that yet. Or Cups is all about emotions, so it could be that he has this knowledge that there's a lot of things that he's still feeling, a lot of things that he's thinking, and I kind of want to sneeze. So it could be that he has a lot of hypothetical things or ideas that he's like, this could be the reason why I don't feel stable. This could be the reason why I don't feel okay, or this is what I feel like I'm missing. Like, there's some sort of void or vacancy within him that he doesn't know how to fill up yet. Yes, it could be about people that he has missed, or it could, like, he could feel very lonely somehow, or he may feel misunderstood, or he may feel like he's on his own or whatever journey he's in. Like, yeah, it could be something along those lines. So I don't necessarily feel like it's a material thing, like he doesn't have a place to be in and call home. It's more like an environment type of thing, or a state of mind that he feels like he's lacking to feel at home. You have to keep in mind that Taemin is a Cancer, and Cancers are people that take they take very good care of home and family, and family doesn't have to necessarily be their like bloodline. It could be people that they have let into their inner circle and they consider that family. So I do feel that he may feel like he's lacking that support group somehow, or that little circle that he could be like open and vulnerable with. He feels like he still needs his walls up pretty much all the time, and that could be the reason that he doesn't feel at home. Or that could be the Seven of Cups of like, there's so many things that could be at play, so many options and so many ideas and so many views to look at, that he feels like are not like are not set on stone necessarily. Like something is missing. However, we have the High Priestess right next to the Seven of Cups, and in between the Ace of Swords. So it kind of feels with this High Priestess is basically the moon, and the moon, guess what, is the ruler of Cancer, which is what he is. So it does feel like the planet came in. The moon is all about intuition, is all about emotions and how we feel and our subconscious. So it feels like Taemin is very good at connecting to his subconscious, so he knows what is on the top and what is on the bottom. So his persona, his ego, what is on the exterior, what people always see, he is aware of that. He knows how that works. He is content and satisfied with that side of himself, right? With that Ace of Swords. But it feels like there is this subconscious level that he's also very aware of. So the thing that it's always in the back of his mind, the thing that's always in his dreams, like when he's sleeping, not dreams as in goals and wishes. Or like there is something that he is also aware of that people do not see. And he's not necessarily hiding it. It's just always there, and there is no need to show it to others. Again, he hasn't found that inner circle that he feels comfortable with and satisfied with. Like he hasn't found those people that he may deem worthy, as those were the words that just kind of came into my mind. But the other thing that I see with this High Priestess is that he is very in tune with his feminine energy, which out of all the zodiac, Cancer is the most feminine sign because it's ruled by the moon, and many see it as the mother of the zodiac. So it's a very, very feminine sign. I'm not saying that Taemin is not a man. I am Taemin. That Taemin is a man. I'm saying that he is very in tune with the nurturing part of himself, the emotional part of himself, the vulnerable side of himself, and the I guess the low-key, laid-back type of energy that feminine energies tend to have, right? Is the energy of I will go with the flow of things. I will strike whenever is the right time to strike. I will take action when it's the right time to take action. The masculine energy seems to be usually the most like forward energy, that is like also the most acceptable on Earth. Not on Earth necessarily, but on society's eyes, is the most acceptable one, right? It's the one that doesn't really show emotions, just gets stuff done. You know, it's a combination of fire and air. Earth and water, those elements are more feminine. That's usually how it works in the zodiac. But going back, so with that High Priestess, it feels like it is in between those two things, right? Like he knows that there's something that he's missing, like there's a part of himself that can't be that open and vulnerable, but he's still able to take out those messages that he deeply feels within him. So I do feel that he does feel like this High Priestess, someone that is very intuitive, someone that is in contact with their subconscious and very aware and open of things that people are usually not aware of. So yeah, I do mean this in like in a spiritual sense. So he seems to be very in tune with the like trusting the universe type of thing, like trusting in what is not there or what cannot be seen but could only be felt or thought of, if that makes sense. Like he is aware of that, and he uses it to his advantage to be able to say the messages that he feels called out to say in relation to what he's going through and what he has experienced. Now let's go to the last card that we have upright, facing up, which is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is usually someone that is in their paradise, in their garden of fortune. Is usually a person that feels independent materially and is okay with themselves in that sense. He is stable in the material 3D world in the sense that he has what he needs, he's content with that, and the only thing that I'm getting with his Nine of Pentacles is that not only does he feel safe, secure, and satisfied, we have this owl right here that is a symbol of his knowledge within his third eye. And the third eye is the thing that helps us see what it cannot be seen with our normal eyes, if that makes sense. So that leads more towards the spiritual sense, and that goes along with this High Priestess energy that I had talked about earlier. So it definitely feels like he is stable, and the only thing that isn't is something that cannot be seen. or something that he feels like he's missing emotionally. So now I'm going to take out clarifiers for each one of the cards that we have in front of us. So a clarifier for the Four of Wands reverse. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Nine of Cups reverse. Now for the Seven of Cups, a clarifier for the Seven of Cups. We have the Six of Cups. Okay. A clarifier for the High Priestess. We have the Devil. Okay. Do not fret. Okay, clarifier for the Ace of Swords. The World. Okay. The clarifier for the Two of Pentacles. Reverse. We have the Two of Swords reverse. And a clarifier for the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, I want that one. The Hermit. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do is that I wanted the top cards to be what can be seen, what people are aware of, or at least he is consciously aware of, and I wanted to use the bottom cards to be the subconscious, the let's dig deeper type of energy, because there was something that I'm very excited about for reading for Taemin, is that I want to dig deeper. I want to, you know, swim in those waters that cannot be seen. I want to reach the subconscious level in one that it has a lot of maturity and unblocking and knowledge, if that makes sense. I didn't want to keep the surface level at all, because we do have to keep in mind that not only is he like an individual that has been in the K-pop industry for quite a while now, I do feel that he will have attracted people that are going to be very aware, conscious, or mature somehow. Like whatever messages come through, you guys will be able to digest them pretty well and not take it at face value, if that makes sense. So yeah, I do feel that it will be very interesting, and I am so excited to read. So let's go one by one again. So to clarify the Four of Wands reversed, we have a Nine of Cups reversed. So yeah, the thing that is getting on the way for him to feel at home and to feel secured and stable is the Nine of Cups reversed. The Nine of Cups usually symbolizes a wish come true, or feeling emotionally satisfied and very content, but it's reversed, so that tells me that he is lacking exactly that. Whatever it is that will emotionally satisfy him and make him feel content and happy and just fulfilled somehow, it's not there, and that's what's lacking within him. The sense of just feeling satisfied and content with what he has. I don't think he's necessarily being like a greedy individual that is like, oh, I won millions and riches. I don't think that's it. I'm telling you, since it's cups, it's all about the emotions. So something that makes him feel emotionally content, something that brings him emotional satisfaction and stability, if that makes sense. To clarify the Seven of Cups, we have the Six of Cups. So I thought that was kind of funny. But one of the many things that he may be thinking of, okay, one of them, so the Seven of Cups mentions that having a lot of options, a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that you could potentially do, right? And I'm just seeing the Six of Cups, and to me that's the card for children. So we have home, children, and depending on what we get for his love life or his career or something, it could be in the other sections. We might get that he wants to start settling down and having a family, but he's thinking about it. I do feel that he remember, he's a Cancer, so he wants that. Many of them desire that, actually. It's kind of like their natural state to want that, and depending on how the rest of his chart is laid out, which I've never looked at, so I have no clue, there could be other aspects within his natal chart that will show that he kind of wants that eventually. But anyway, putting that aside, so I do feel that one of the cups or one of the options that he has in mind, or one of his theories as to why he doesn't feel content somehow, is that he may want to start building his own family, or he may want to start working on that, finding it. Like, I do think children are part of it. Like, he may want to have children eventually, or he wants to take care of kids as if he was a paternal figure, if that makes sense. So maybe nieces and nephews, maybe kids of friends. Like, he wants to have that experience of nurturing somebody else in, like, helping them learn different life lessons, if that makes sense. The other thing that I'm getting with the Six of Cups is that someone from his past could be coming back, and that could be something that or like an idea that he had in the past. It's coming back, and he's starting to think, what would it be if I start settling down? And I do think that kind of puts the rest of his career and whatever else he was working on in kind of turmoil, right? So, like, how does he continue from now on, or like how will he make that happen? Because again, one of the things that I was thinking of when I saw the Nine of Pentacles over here is that shows someone that is good by themselves, is very independent, and is content with that. But the card that goes after the Nine of Pentacles is the Ten of Pentacles, and that is someone that is has a material grounding and support to provide for a family and create a family. So that's why I kind of felt that could be like a big thing that he's currently thinking about. So many things to talk about. So underneath the High Priestess, we have the Devil. So it kind of feels like this High Priestess, we kind of touched upon that a little bit, that he is conscious of what's his outer persona and what is his inner persona. And the Devil shows us like it's Capricorn energy, which is the opposite of Cancer, which is the moon ruling Cancer. If that makes sense. Like, there's these two opposing energies, who he is in the inside and who's on the outside. Cancer is the ruler of the 4th house, which is all about family and our domestic life, and Capricorn is the ruler of the 10th house, which is the house of our public status and career. So I do feel that he is under, those are that could be the two things like he's juggling, right? Who am I on the outside to the public, and who am I on the outside within myself? And then who am I in the inside to the public, and who am I in the inside within myself? Like, there's this two things that he's continuously juggling with, and two energies that he's continually working with and trying to understand, and all of that. And the Devil is also a card about illusions. What is it that we cannot see? Or what is it that is being put on the forefront to not help us out, allow ourselves to feel empowered? Something that's holding us back somehow, like an illusion, an idea, or a thought that's holding us back. So I do feel with this High Priestess energy, he's constantly working against that other energy of what is it that I feel it's tying me back, holding me back, keeping me trapped. So this is like a very strong theme within him, which I do feel that is like the whole white and black, what's on the spotlight, what isn't on the spotlight, your light aspect and your shadow aspect, your outer shell and your inner shell, that kind of idea. The whole thing of, he mentioned that the piano was the instrument that was resembling him or something like that. So I do feel that not everything is black and white, or there's still this duality within him. The next card that we have is the World, which is clarifying the Ace of Swords. So that tells me that he feels that he did a very good job in allowing the whole world to listen to the message that he had. He feels like he succeeded, and he did a very good job in communicating what that message was. Whatever message he felt, this is what I want to convey to the world, this is how I feel, this is what I feel really deep within me is a message that the world needs to listen to, or something along those lines. He feels like he succeeded in spreading that. And I also feel with the World card that he did a very good job in doing what his life purpose is. He is a messenger, he makes music, and as an artist, he is, by communicating his experiences and talking about his own issues or his own concerns or his own beliefs. He is being, life in the universe can use his music, his words, and his experiences as ways to reflect and become mirrors for other people and other individuals. For example, when I heard advice, I was reminded how that is true. We should definitely follow what we believe in. We should definitely follow our own advice, right? Which is pretty much the biggest takeaway I got from his song when I was listening to it, right? A very empowering type of song for sure, and very, very, right, very well executed. He did a good job. I really liked it. So yeah, it does feel like with the world, he's definitely been working with fate, and that's why he was rewarded by following your gut instinct, by following what you wanted to do, and by following the closest thing to your truth. You were able to succeed in creating this beautiful message out there, if that makes sense. Now, to clarify the Two of Pentacles, we have the Two of Swords reversed. So, I feel like the issue that he has, how I mentioned that there's like these two energies or these two ideas or these two things that he wants to juggle within his life, and he can't manage to actually balance them out. That's because he's not even aware what those two options are or what those two opportunities are, because the Two of Swords also talks about being kind of like blindfolded, and you can pick which two ideas or options you are in between, like the two choices you're in between. You don't know which one to pick because you're kind of blinded to the truth. We have the moon behind it, which is supposed to symbolize that it's an internal journey you have to go through to figure out which one's the best for you. But the fact that it's reversed, it tells me that he's not even aware of what those two options are, or like what those two things he's juggling within his life to balance out. And until he figures out what are those two things, he will be able to figure out the best middle ground for both of them to coexist. The next card that we have is the Hermit, which is clarifying the Nine of Pentacles. And the Hermit is number 9, which is almost closing a cycle or almost coming to the end of a chapter. And the Hermit energy is supposed to be a card that symbolizes having to look within ourselves to find enlightenment, or to, go in isolation and solitude to finally look within ourselves and figure out what it is that we're missing, or figure out what it is that we're lacking. That is enlightenment, right? Figuring out this knowledge that we need. And I feel that it's underneath the Nine of Pentacles, because now he is so stable within his material 3D world that now he can comfortably go into himself and figure out the subconscious side of himself to find that alignment. I do have to say that there's 3 major arcana on the bottom as clarifiers, so that tells me that it is a very big deal for him, and it is very important and essential for him to start digging deep within himself. And I do hope that this reading is something that we could help him subconsciously unblock, even if he doesn't watch this. By just putting the intentions out there, he will be able to, it's kind of like a little aid or a little like kick of good luck, that's an expression in Spanish that I don't know if that translates well in English, having like that little kick of good luck. So yeah, it's like, by setting the intentions for him to be able to open up and actually feel safe and secure and find that knowledge that he's looking for, will be good enough to help him and aid him in what he is going to be doing regardless anyway. So yeah, let's jump into his career and see what we find there. So let's dig deeper into Taemin's career. You see, it comes out of nowhere that I'm like, Taemin. Okay, so we have 31, solitude, alone but not lonely. So yeah, this is definitely a time where he needs to be on his own. So it's kind of like we were continuing from that Hermit card that appeared at the end of his current energy. I'm like, what's the name of it? So it does feel that right now it's a period for him to be on his own, to figure out, how to dig deeper within himself and find that knowledge. So if I'm correct, he's going to do his military service, right? Oh, we have luck is on your side. So let's see. Other cards for his career. So it definitely feels like he is going through okay. He's wanted one more. He's definitely going through a period where he just has to focus on himself a little bit more. Like he is going through that time where He is just finding himself again. That's kind of what I'm getting. So through his work and everything, he is kind of realizing that he needs to kind of, touch ground or center himself once more, or something along those lines. Like, he is in a time that he wants to, at least kind of like leave, put some space between his career and himself, so he can continue down the journey of figuring out who he is and what he wants in life. And it feels like this is like uncovering the veil somehow, opening that third eye or something along those lines, basically finding himself. That's like the main thing that I'm getting. And Alone But Not Lonely is just a reminder for him that just because he's on his own, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have the help and support of other people around him when he needs it. And of course, his spirit guides will always be there to protect him and take care of him, because that's what that's on the contract. That's what they're here for, to help us and guide us. They're not here to tell us what to do, they're here to help us and guide us. So let's continue. We have the new moon, Sagittarius, luck is on your side, so it definitely feels like he will continue being successful in his career. He will be, since it's Sagittarius, this is the card of having that higher knowledge, having that higher perspective in that sense. You carry so much knowledge and wisdom within himself that he will be able to continue using that for his career. So he has the techniques, he has the words, he has the ideas to make himself succeed and continue doing well for his career. So I do feel that even if he does take some time out to be in that solitude type of state, he will be able to just pick up back into his career and continue doing his own thing. I do feel that there is this new beginning where he will feel very, very lucky and his career will just succeed exponentially. The other cards that we have is Full Moon Eclipse, conclusions are within reach, and we have Full Moon in Leo, don't let pride get in the way. So I do feel that he may have to swallow his pride and just take that time out. I do feel that he's someone that has worked so much in his life that he doesn't really know what it means to rest. It's just continuously working to become better, maybe to polish his skills, or may it be to polish his message, or may it be to polish his work to be published and put out there, right? So it definitely feels like he doesn't really know what it means to rest. He is not aware of that. He has never heard of the word rest, chill, or vacation, if that makes sense. It's like even if he's taking a break or going on a vacation, he's constantly thinking, what will inspire, what will motivate me to do my work and be put into my work. So he's constantly working. Now we have conclusions are within reach. So when you have a full moon, it is supposed to symbolize the end of something, an end of a chapter, the end of a cycle. So it kind of feels like he is definitely about to let go of his ego or let go of his external outer persona, breaking that mask, letting go of that so that he can be within himself and be in that solitude. So I feel like in his career, the whole point is to start exploring that side of himself that he may have not looked at in a very long time. So let's see what other cards we have for his career. We have that, or null, emptiness. So yeah, this is the card where you have to pay attention to what is not there. You have to pay attention to the empty space. It is a good sign to like meditate or figure out the emptiness within you, or figure out that silence, or this is the card that when I see it, it symbolizes a time to just be, a time where you're just existing. There is no tomorrow, there is no yesterday, it's only the present moment. You are going through the energy of what you are. You are in that energy where you're just existing. It's the pure essence of you, if that makes sense. So no baggage, no expectations, just existing. So I do feel that in his career, he needs to be reaching that point where he is just himself and he's just surviving. If that makes sense. I'm not too sure how else to explain it. But yeah, he is in that period where he kind of just has to focus on himself. The background of this card kind of feels like the environment where you, almost like if you were in heaven, or like if you were in the sky somehow, and you're just like, you know, in that who knows what dimension type of energy. So it definitely feels that he will get the higher knowledge, and that will benefit him and help him be a lot more successful in his career. That is part of his message. That is part of his purpose, to talk about that growth and that improvement within himself. And we have a triangle looking down, which is usually the symbol for water, or the element water, which again, creativity, spirituality, and emotions. So he's definitely working through that subconscious part, which is kind of reminding me of that high priestess that we saw earlier in his reading. One more card for Taemin's career. I said one more card. Oh, okay, I'll take all three. Whatever. We can take all three. Okay, we have air, moon, and Jupiter. Okay. So with the element of air is all about communication. It is about balance. It's all about your thoughts and your ideas and your intellect. So the way that you perceive life in a way. Your thoughts. It kind of feels like there's a sense of expanding his brain. It's like getting that knowledge, but that knowledge is a subconscious type of knowledge. So it's like the wisdom and knowledge of knowing himself. Because the other two cards that we have is Moon and Jupiter. So these are planets. These are energies working with him. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and it's the planet of expansion. It's the planet of good luck. It's the planet of going beyond our horizons and learning new things. It is the planet of, you see how there's like all of this energy within the head. It's kind of like, it's, being open-minded, expanding your ideas and your knowledge of things. And if you look at that, it's very similar to the air element, which is it's also very good, for getting those new ideas through, to be able to communicate yourself more effectively and express yourself better, because air is the element of communication. Air is the element of Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, which is all about communication, justice, balance, and your ideas, thoughts. The other card that we have is the moon. So it feels like in this moon card, it's actually very similar to the one that we have above it, which is emptiness, and it really feels similar to that high priestess. Remember how I mentioned that the high priestess is ruled by the moon, or it represents the moon, and the moon is, oh my god, let me get myself together. So the high priestess is represented by the moon, and the moon is the ruler of Cancer, which is his sun sign, which tells me that in his career he just needs to learn new things to be a lot more successful and be very lucky. You know how they say that luck doesn't, like, some people believe that luck doesn't exist. I do think that there's a little bit of that, like luck does, but the only way you can make your luck sometimes is just by being open to opportunities and be open to people and to ideas and thoughts. And like, if you're very skilled and knowledge in something, you will naturally be lucky. So remember how I said that the street was getting fixed? That noise was so annoying. I had to stop for a little bit. So yeah, it kind of feels that he is definitely having to go through this growth and transformation within himself, and it will naturally be reflected in his career when he gets that knowledge. Oh, okay. We have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, he there's this sense of having to free himself of something. The Eight of Swords is a card that represents how our thoughts and our ideas are blinding us to the ability, it's creating this illusion, and it's making us believe that we can't do something, like we're trapped. And if you look closely, we see the Eight of Swords has like this jumble thing. It's kind of like, and you're blindfolded. So this is a card that represents not being able to see clearly, not being able to see clearly. I can't speak now. Not being able to see clearly, so you can't see the truth. You are under this illusion that things are happening in a way for some reason. It's also a card where it's supposed to show how your ideas are all jumbled up. Things are not working how you would like them to be because you feel like you're trapped. You can't move from somewhere. But this Eight of Swords, it's all within your mind. Like, if you feel you can't do something, it's in your head. It's because because of some limiting beliefs you may have. So I do feel that he needs that time alone to figure out how to expand and break free from whatever limiting beliefs he may have within his career that are getting in the way of his own success and his own fortune and making his good luck, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take out a little bit more cards just to see what's going on with Taemin's career. Just a little bit more. So we have two cards. We have the Hierophant reversed and the wheel. So things are going to start moving when he lets go of that established structure he has within his mind. The Hierophant is a card that symbolizes structure, society, like the way society has built us in. So this is like a very big change. He is about to break free somehow within his career, and this wheel is supposed to represent energy moving. It's a very good card for good luck since it's underneath the new moon in Sagittarius, but it's also the wheel is supposed to represent how ideas are flowing, at least in the imagery here, because we have the hair moving in a circle, and that kind of reminds me of this other two cards. So it also feels like he is going, like, breaking free from whatever is standard, or breaking free from whatever ideas he had established before, and breaking free from whatever it is conventional, and going and making his own luck somehow. So he's definitely, like, that is part of, in his career, that is what he has to do, or what he is willing to constantly do. Push and push and push. Almost like rebelling, but he's not doing it in a bad way. He's doing it through his art. And art is the best way to start pushing other areas of our life. Like, how should I put it? Art is a good form of revolution, in the sense that you plant in the idea, and then whoever wants to do it through, like, the political sense, or wants to do it through other areas of life, they can get that done and figure that out. But as an artist, that's like the most inoffensive way of pushing change. So let's take out a little bit more. We have the world reversed. Oh my god. Okay. So this tells me that it's still not time necessarily for him to do it. Okay, because I was thinking, what the hell was I thinking? I think I was thinking more like, okay, what? I have no clue what I was thinking. However, I know that this is in relation to his career, and the world here represents that he is still working towards making that change happen. Like, it's still not time for him to create that change, even though he's technically already, breaking conventions. Or whatever conventional ideas there are, but it kind of feels that in his career there is still stuff that he has to learn, and things that he has to figure out for himself, in order for him to be able to start making those changes worldwide, or start having a bigger impact with his career. Like, it does feel like there's still things limiting him and holding him back, and he needs to get rid of those before he can even expand beyond whatever it is that he already has established for himself. So it kind of brings me back to, in order for him to create himself a in order for him to be more fortunate and more lucky and more abundant, he kind of has to learn and grow within himself to make room for all of those changes that he's about to bring in his career for the world somehow. So I do feel that life is very proud of him, and is very proud of his career, but now it's definitely time for him to kind of retreat and bring himself back together, to learn and understand what is the next step within his career, to in a way break conventions and start getting that wheel moving, I feel. So that seems very clear to me. But yeah, with that all said, let's jump into his love life and see what's going on there. So let's jump right into his love life and see what is there. So Taemin's love life, let's block that energy. Let's dig deep. Okay, so we have Orenda, honor your mystical creative force, and then we have Hetz, be still and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. So I don't think he has a very good actually, let's just take more cards to see how it's going. But maybe he doesn't have a very good idea of love, or he may be a little bit pessimistic about his love life, or he doesn't really know what's going on there, or he may feel like he's not that lucky within his love life, because that Heads card kind of reminds me of how you could be, someone could be like, okay, what I'm getting is that maybe he is aware that not everyone will be content when he finds love, or not everyone is going to support him when he is with his partner, whoever that is. It feels like there is a chance that he is so focused in his career because he is aware that when he starts his love life, not many people will take it very nicely. I'm not necessarily too sure if he has someone in mind already. We're gonna take out cards and just take out cards and see like what energy is there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he has someone already in plan, or like if he is already looking for someone. It kind of feels like there is maybe an offer that life is like, here, you can have this, we can bring you, fate could be working with him and like offering this beautiful love life and this beautiful love story, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he is not aware that a lot of people will not be. It kind of feels like he knows that some people are just waiting for him to slip up somehow, just to mess up and get him in trouble. So yeah, because we have right here, be still and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. So it's kind of like, I don't know, he seems to just, I think he's expecting the worst for his love life. I don't know why. So let's see, what is going on in Taemin's love life? We have, it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio, full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. So it kind of feels like, yeah, well, he needs to, if he wants to find love, he kind of does have to let go of this negative idea that it's not going to work out, or that it's or that someone's I just realized that I've been recording this whole time, but I didn't turn on my mic. So the first little chunk of this is gonna have the audio of my camera and not the audio of my microphone, so it's gonna sound kind of weird how it changes all of a sudden. You know what? I feel so scatterbrained in Taemin's love life, so that tells me that he must feel like that too. He must feel very distracted, like he's has so many other things that he's working on that he can't concentrate on his love life. But what I want to say is that he does need to let go of this negative idea of he has of love before he can even have a relationship, if that's what he's looking for. I am getting that maybe he's not focusing on that right now because he is aware of that. He is aware that he doesn't have the brain space for it in the first place. And also with the answers you need are coming, it kind of feels like he is definitely waiting to get like the green light of like, yeah, go, this is a good time to find love, or yeah, definitely go, this is a person you've been waiting for, or this is a good individual that you could have for your love life. So it definitely feels like he has to wait anyway if he wants to make this happen. He kind of needs to feel the feel, if that makes sense, kind of test the waters and see if it's really a good idea to start working on his love life. So let's see what energies are at play right here. We have Taurus, one more, and we have Gemini. Those two cards are right next to each other. So Taurus is the energy of having stability. It's a fifth sign, so very stubborn, persistent, and romantic. So it definitely feels like he is just waiting for the right time so he can persistently go after the person he wants for his life, and to be ready to just push forward and find the person he cares about and wants to share his life with. He seems to be wanting something very stable, and he's not playing around necessarily with his love life, so that explains why he's being very careful with it. We also have Gemini on the bottom twice, so he may be looking for someone that is able to understand his duality, or be with someone that has something similar to him with the duality, so he wants like an equal somehow, or he wants someone that he can easily communicate with, someone that he can learn with, someone that he can feel happy and content with. And that Taurus card also symbolizes that he wants a very long-lasting, loyal relationship with his partner, so he's not necessarily, as I mentioned earlier, playing around, and that will explain why he's being very careful in making sure that he has not only the right mentality for a partner, but he also has the right it's like the right time to bring a partner into his life. So he's definitely making sure that that's the case. Let's see. What other energies? What are these enemies? I'm kind of curious about that. So we have the crown, spirituality, and we have left eye, knowledge. So a sphere, light. What do you think of when you think of lights of sphere? That's kind of a random thought that just came into my head. I do not know. I see that as soul, energy, and people. That's kind of what I see it. But I don't know. Okay. That was a random thought. So we have like a little pearl right here. So he has the knowledge that he will have to offer his heart to someone if he wants his love life to work. And since he wants something very serious, he is taking his time to make sure that the right person comes through, or at least a person that he feels comfortable showing that side of himself. He's not playing around. And you also have to keep in mind, I'm mentioning this again, he is a Cancer, so he is someone that right now it seems like he doesn't have anyone within his like circle that he can be vulnerable with. So it does feel like he is waiting for someone that can kind of enter that part of himself, so he could have that individual that he wants for his love life to be his partner. I just noticed this is number 22, so that is the sign of someone that will be unequal to him and will mirror him somehow. It is a number of balance, and if you add it up, it adds up to 4, which is a number of stability. So he really wants someone that will be a good partner for him, someone that he can look forward to, someone that feels like an equal to him, and the most important thing, someone that will understand him, even if that understanding is, I don't get where you're coming from, but I accept you for who you are and I care about you for who you are anyway. So it definitely feels that there's this sense of understanding, even if it's not like complete understanding. And yeah, it feels like it is someone that he wants someone in his love life that is very balanced and has like their shit together, because this spheres right here kind of feel like the symbol of your chakras, but going beyond the 7th one, because there's 7 main chakras in our body, and when you in the crown one, it's kind of difficult to reach anyway, but after that one there is technically more, just that those are not necessarily ones that are necessarily in the 3D. And if you look at that, it kind of makes me think of our spine. So it's like connecting and aligning yourself in such a way that that's kind of what he wants in his partner, someone that is very aligned and has their energy well balanced. But it also feels like the tail of this scorpion, so it kind of tells me that he wants someone that is very passionate and someone that is constantly growing and evolving and transforming into the best version of themselves, and of course is releasing the negativity that may be getting in the way of the relationship. But he definitely wants someone that mirrors him and is like a counterpart to him, but will be also an equal to him as well. So it definitely feels like he wants someone that is also very knowledgeable and has a lot of interesting things to say. He wants someone interesting. Now 2 more cards to understand his love life. We have the 6 of Swords. Oh, that's cute. I've never seen the 6 of Swords in this one. Like, not up close. What's Amy's love life? And the 8 of Swords. So yeah, there's a lot of thoughts and ideas going on around with Taemin's love life. He's definitely thinking about it very carefully. The 6 of Swords symbolizes having to leave turmoil waters and going to calmer ones, so relaxing and feeling content in such a way that he is not overthinking anything. And it feels like what he wants to let go of is the limiting belief. So like that negative mentality he has of love life, like the negative view he has of like how it's not gonna work, how people are just waiting for him to slip up, how he's waiting for, how he thinks that people are just waiting for him to mess up somehow. He doesn't want that. Again, he wants to definitely protect his partner, whoever that is. So this definitely feels like and then you know that he really wants to protect his partner, where the most that I'm getting for his potential partner is just what he's looking for. It's not necessarily like, oh, this person's waiting for him to do this, to do that. No, this is just traits. Like, he wants his partner to be a counterpart to him. Taemin wants someone that will understand him, to communicate with him. So I'm just getting things that it's still from Taemin's point of view. And you should, okay, you guys may not know this, but when I read for other people, sometimes I get like, oh, this is the energy of the person I'm reading for, and this is the energy of their potential partner. But with Taemin, it's all about him still. Like, it's still coming from him. So yeah, he wants someone that will, that he was, okay, the other thing that I got, because like there's like an angel right here, so it feels like he wants to the relationship to be divinely protected and guided. So it will definitely take some time for life to find that person and to find the path towards each other, you know, to bridge them together. And this Eight of Swords, again, this imagery is the one that I was kind of talking about. You know, you can definitely walk away from this trapped feeling that you're in, but you are the one that is blindfolded to the truth, and you live within this illusion that your thoughts are, you know, this illusion, and your thoughts are the one holding you back, are the one that, you know, the idea of is what is holding you back. So he definitely has to release something to allow his love life to just flow throughly. So 2 more cards. I just want to know who these enemies are. Okay, we have the Page of Cups, we have the 3 of Cups, and we have the 4 of Pentacles. So Taemin will definitely treasure whoever his partner is. He will take care of this individual like you guys don't even know. And this Page of Cups tells me that he wants to have a relationship where he is emotionally content with, satisfied with, and can be very vulnerable with, because that Page of Cups is usually a symbol of a messenger of emotions and spirituality and creativity. So he definitely wants to talk about all aspects of himself to his partner, and he wants to be open and vulnerable with them. So he wants to offer, you know, it's someone that will have his back. That's kind of what I'm getting with the imagery of this Page of Cups. Now this 3 of Cups tells me that he wants to be with someone that he could have fun with, and he can celebrate, and he can enjoy life. And it could be someone that he wants to meet through friends, or he may meet this person in a party, or he may meet this individual when he's celebrating. And it could be that he's just walking, you know, outside the streets, and he's like so happy and content with his success and his life that he just randomly meets this person. So all I'm saying is that he may not know who this individual is, or like he has not met this individual yet. Could be. But yeah, I said this 4 of Pentacles is usually the sign of someone that is keeping something of their possession safe, and they don't want anybody else to take it away from them. So that's why I was mentioning that Taemin will definitely take care of his partner and will treasure them and will make sure that they don't get hurt or damaged by anyone. So that will explain with this card of like that he needs to let go of the idea that someone's out to get him, you know, someone's out to just wait for him to mess up somehow. So yeah, that is actually very nice for his love life. Now let's move on to his healing messages to see what's going on there. So what healing messages are there for Taemin? Okay. So the first card that we have is the Cat Spirit, Claim Your Independence. So yeah, there's something that is holding him back in such a way that he doesn't feel like he's empowered anymore. He doesn't feel like he has himself together. Like he feels something's always holding him back, and because of that, he may not feel like he's independent anymore. Like he feels like he has to rely on the hands of the universe or rely on his environment to, you know, be content, or he has to rely on other aspects and other areas out of his control, that he doesn't feel empowered anymore. The other card that we have is the Rabbit Spirit, Now is a Lucky Time. We have the Coyote Spirit, Trust in the Divine, Detours, and the Snake Spirit, Time to Heal. So, okay, let's talk. I'm gonna take one more. We have the Dog Spirit, Be Loyal to What You Love. Okay, So this is how it works. When you have reverse cards in this deck, it usually means that it's in a protective stance, meaning that the spirit animals that are being shown are constantly working towards to make him are constantly working to make that message true somehow. So now is a lucky time with the rabbit spirit. Kind of tells me that the universe, well, the rabbit spirit is constantly working with Taemin to make sure that he knows that things are okay, to make sure that he knows that there is hope, to make sure that he knows that there is something to look forward to and there is something good out there for him. So when sometimes he feels discouraged or he may feel like things are not working out for him, the rabbit spirit is there to tell him that there is fertility within his ideas, there is abundance with his thoughts, there is a lot of good things and new beginnings and fortunate details, fortunate aspects helping him and favoring him within his work or whatever it is that he's concerned about. Also, the rabbit spirit is showing like a little family, because we have like a mama rabbit with two little bunnies, and that is so cute. But it is supposed to symbolize how he is not alone, he has people with him, and of course in this case the rabbit spirit is there to be like, hey, I'm here to help you out, so whenever you need something, I'm here for you. So yeah, with the cat spirit reverse, it kind of shows that the cat spirit is constantly working with him to remember that he has power, he has control, he has the ability to change things. And I think that's why Taemin has to constantly be in solitude and kind of recenter himself and ground himself and remind himself what it is he has power over. Like, this is what I can do, this is what I cannot do, this is what I could work on to create change for me, and stuff like that. Now we have the Coyote spirit reverse, which says trust in the divine detours. So this is a card where the Coyote spirit is constantly trying to remind him that if something doesn't work out, it's for a reason. It is to help him and benefit him and put him in the path for his best interest. So when things are not working out for him, the Coyote spirit is right there to be like, look man, this is how things are gonna work out and this is how we're gonna make them work out. So it could be like when he sees a coyote, or when he sees imagery of wolves. Potentially there is a wolf card, but I'm just putting that out there. So when he sees like a pack of people working together, or maybe if he sees a feather, it is a sign of life being like, trust that if things are not working out the way that you want them to work out, it's because we are figuring out a new path for you, and we're creating something that you could not even see for yourself that is a lot better for what it is that you want. So this is definitely like, if things don't work out, it's for a reason, and he is being reminded of that constantly, even if he's not aware of it. Now, the other card that we have is the Snake Spirit, Time to Heal. So that kind of reminds me of his career, and how in that section we had that he had to be in a moment of solitude to figure out what it is that he wants, but also so he can learn to, so he can expand further what it is that he wants for his career and to get the knowledge that he needs. So the Snake Spirit is reminded me of, you know how in order for snakes to grow, they have to shed their skin. So it kind of makes me think that he just has to go through those changes, through those transformations that will help him and benefit him be this new side of himself, or this new version of himself that he's a little bit more content with and satisfied with. So this is definitely a card that is trying to remind him that the transformation is needed, and he will be able to succeed and have that, because it is a time, you know, if he feels like he's on his own, or he feels like that there's no one out there for him physically, you know, in the 3D, is because life is trying to make room for him and make time for him to work on himself and focus on himself, and also focus on his ideas, to nurture that part of himself that is constantly thinking. Now, the other card that we have is the Dog Spirit, Be Loyal to What You Love. And that card is kind of a reminder that the dog spirit is there to help him. It's there to remind him that he's not on his own. It's there to remind him that all of the bad and all of the good in his life is out of pure love and to help him and benefit him, and it's for a good cause, and it's all with a loving energy in the world. So this is not to hurt him, it is not to just you know, be like, ha ha ha, you can't get what you want. This is just the energy of, you know, it's for a reason, and if he doesn't see it yet, it's fine, but it's for a reason. Things happen because they have to happen. They're not trying to do this out of bad intent. But yeah, with this dog spirit, it also tells me that it's kind of saying that his spirit guides are very loyal to him, and they're willing to help him in any way, shape, or form. They're there to baby him and take care of him, and they're constantly helping him just grow up. They're as an individual. As grow up, but maturity wise, if that makes sense. So yeah, but that dog spirit is also saying that he needs to trust his gut instinct. So if there's something that he really wants to do, just go for it. Life will figure out a way to give him what he wants. And if right now he needed some time for himself, life is figuring out a way to give him that time and space that he needs. So this definitely feels that if he is loyal to what he likes to do, what he wants to learn and all of that, life will make sure that he succeeds in those aspects of his life. So if he wants to continue dancing because he likes it and he enjoys it, it nurtures his soul and his body and his emotions. Life and the universe and his spirit guides are gonna figure out a way for him to continue doing that, because he's not hurting himself nor the people around him, so life knows that it's good for him. Now, there is a lot of green on all of these 3 cards, so that definitely means that he's working with his heart, and he is definitely working with his the most loving place within his soul. So he's doing it out of love and out of care, and not out of greed or ambition. Not ambition like ambition in a bad way, right? Like your greed, basically. He's not doing this out of a bad place. He's doing this out of a healing, emotional, loving way. Now, I'm going to take out 3 cards to see, what advice there is for him to unlock and expand. We have number 4, doable. Oh, I just flipped this one. We have the key is within your grasp. We have Nas, feel loved and proud. And let's see. One more. What else? And the last card that we have is Minimus, commune with the source. So yeah, this is definitely the best way for him to unlock is just to connect with himself, connect with his higher self or his spirit guides, or with whatever it is that he believes in, whatever higher power he believes in, is just connect to that as the source of communication, source of knowledge, to help not only himself but his messages, how he can expand. So he's able to also see where his limitations are in, or where he is limiting himself, those limiting beliefs that he may have. Like life is like, you may want to look at them to figure out what it is that you cannot see, because it feels like if you look at this card, there is like the eyes are covered, so there's a lot of like he is being blinded in such a way that he cannot see something. And the doable card here, it says a key is within your grasp, so that knowledge and that source and that whatever it is that he feels is holding him back, the way to get out of that is very clear within his reach. He just doesn't see it yet. He still feels limited somehow. And the other card that we have is feel loved and proud. So this energy definitely feels like the universe is like, we are taking care of you and we love you and we want to make sure that you're doing well. So Taemin is definitely being protected and taken care of and loved, and nature is also like protecting him somehow. So maybe he's doing pretty well with his health, and that's a way nature is helping him. Or the food that he eats is also a good way of life being like, look, we have abundance and good energy for you. I'm not too sure. So yeah, or maybe the weather is always nice for him, or something along those lines. Or like he may see nature in such a way that it inspires him and motivates him, and that's life's way of saying, hey, we're there for you, this is our gift to you, you human. So yeah, those are the messages that I have for Taemin. So we have finished all 4 sections for this reading. I hope you guys liked it. I definitely thought it was interesting, especially when I got to his love life, and I was like, I feel so scatterbrained. Like physical me felt what I felt was definitely in the cards. The other thing that I thought was definitely very interesting is that we had like this duality type of thing, pretty common within all areas of his life. It was in his love life, it was in his current energy, and I thought that was kind of interesting, right? But yeah, Taemin seems to be a very, very interesting person to read for. He is definitely going deep into his own inner self and just learning about himself and growing and expanding in that area of himself to be successful in other areas of his 3D life. So I think that's also very interesting and very nice as well. I don't necessarily feel drained, but I feel kind of like, whew, that was a lot to talk about and that was a lot to say. So yeah, thank you everyone that ended up watching this video. I hope you learned from this, or if not, it was at least entertaining and fun to watch and listen to. I hope that you guys continue supporting and loving Taemin, and thank you everyone that has been watching and supporting my channel and my videos. All of the love and care from me to you. So yeah, love and healing from me to you, and see you on the next one, whenever that is, however that is, and bye. And if bro, why are you doing this to